What is the fastest way to drop 20 pounds of body fat? Starve yourself, run 10 miles a day and hope your willpower doesn't break in 2 days? Right? Well, wrong. That approach is guaranteed to leave you burned out, frustrated, and let's face it, probably heavier in the long run. What if I told you there's a smarter, faster way to hit your fat loss goals without sacrificing your energy, muscle, or sanity, or even family time? Stick around to the end of the video and I'll break down exactly how to do it. These strategies are proven and are quite practical, even for someone with a packed schedule. I'm Lewis, a fitness coach with over a decade of experience helping busy professionals, busy men transform their bodies without disrupting their careers or personal life or spending hours in the gym. And today, I'm sharing the same principles I use with my clients to help them drop body fat efficiently, stay lean, and most importantly, stay sane. Before we dive in, let me tell you about one of my clients, Ethan. Ethan's a corporate lawyer who juggles late nights, demanding clients, and frequent work dinners. He wanted to get lean, 10% body fat lean, but he was stuck in a vicious cycle of overtraining, undereating, and burning out. What was his approach? Well, it was extreme calorie cuts, daily cardio, and constant frustration when the results didn't show up. He tried all the different programs and routines online, but he just felt disheartened because he wasn't seeing the results. But fast forward just 14 weeks, and Ethan hit his goal. He dropped to 10% body fat, which is around 20 pounds of fat, felt stronger, and had more energy than ever. How did he do this? Well, by following these exact steps I'm about to share in this video. Step 1, creating a sustainable calorie deficit. We've all heard it before. Fat loss requires a calorie deficit, but the devil is in the details. A deficit that's too aggressive might get results quickly, but it's almost impossible to sustain long term. Hunger, low energy, and muscle loss are not worth it. So what is the smarter way to cut calories? Well, we want to set a moderate deficit. Aim to lose somewhere around 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. For most people, this means eating 300 to 500 fewer calories per day. So for example, if you work out your maintenance calories are 2,500, we want to drop our calories closer to 2,000 to 2,200. Obviously, the more severely you drop your calories, the more fat loss you will gain. So you want to start high, not low. Begin with the highest calorie intake that still allows for fat loss. You can adjust as needed depending on your results and depending on if you are feeling like you need to drop more fat. A practical tip is to use an app like MyFitnessPal to track your calories and focus on consistency over perfection. Ethan was eating only 1,200 calories daily when we started, and it shows his energy levels were completely shot and he couldn't stick to it. We actually bumped him up to 1,800 to 2,000 calories, which still created a deficit, but was far more sustainable for his life. The weight started dropping, the body fat started coming off, his workouts improved, and he stopped feeling like he was starving. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, I've tried tracking calories before and it doesn't work. Well, let me ask you this. How accurately were you really tracking? I say to all of my clients, at least for 1 week, if not 2 weeks, just track your calories to get the data. Do it as accurately as possible so that you know exactly what you're putting into your mouth and into your body. And then after we know that, we can then start to iterate. Trust me, I know what it feels like. You don't want to be tracking your calories for the rest of your life, but I'd highly recommend doing it, even if it's just for 1 to 2 weeks to get the data. Step 2, prioritize protein and fats. Cutting calories isn't enough. What you eat matters just as much as how much you eat. Protein helps preserve muscle during fat loss, while healthy fats support hormones and overall health. The ideal breakdown: aim for 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein. Lean meats, eggs, whey protein are your best friends here, quite frankly. Fats: keep 20 to 30% of your total calories from healthy fats like avocados, nuts, olive oils, and carbs can pretty much fill in the rest. Definitely not the enemy, just keep them in balance. So back to my client's example. Ethan's protein intake was abysmal, barely 50 grams a day. But I said to him, look, let's prioritize protein at every meal, like chicken salads, omelets, protein shakes, just doing something to get the protein in each day. He felt full for longer, aka more satiated, and maintained his muscle mass as he dropped fat. Overall, yes, your overall calorie consumption every day and every week is the #1 factor whether you're going to drop fat. But the second most important is how you are making up those macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats. Step 3, train smart, not more. When it comes to fat loss, more isn't always better. It's about maximizing your time in the gym with efficient, targeted workouts. So what's the game plan? Well, strength training. Stick to 3 to 4 sessions a week, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and rows. These exercises target multiple muscle groups, saving you time and burning more calories. If you want to, add 1 to 2 sessions of moderate intensity cardio, or just aim for 8 to 10k steps a day. Don't overdo it. Cardio is a tool, not a foundation. Of course, unless you're training for a specific event or you just love doing cardio. So back to Ethan, he was grinding out 90-minute gym sessions 6 days a week, plus doing daily runs as well. We cut his training to 3 45-minute strength sessions weekly and replaced his runs with just walks. His body responded immediately. Better recovery, improved strength, and steady fat loss. And he just had more energy for the family and at work as well. A key little tip is if you really don't like doing cardio, take up a hobby, whether it's football, tennis, some type of martial arts, just something where you are burning calories and actually gets you moving. But even then, if you don't want to do that, just get 8 to 12k steps in per day. Step 4. Tackle hunger like a pro. Hunger is the silent killer of fat loss. If you're constantly fighting cravings, your plan won't last. The key is to focus on high satiety foods, those that fill you up without breaking your calorie budget. A good little tip is to fill your plate with low calorie, nutrient dense foods. We've all heard it before, like our greens, broccoli, potatoes, and drink plenty of water and adding electrolytes for extra hydration and energy. Another useful little tip is if you really want to try and curb your hunger, having some type of caffeine more in the day, whether it's coffee or tea. Of course, just make sure it's not too late in the day so it affects your sleep. A good one I used to always use is some type of diet pop, whether it's Pepsi Max, Diet Coke. This gives me just a little kick without actually consuming any more calories. Back to my client Ethan's example, his old diet left him snacking on high-calorie health bars that did nothing to keep him full. Once he actually switched to whole foods and upped his protein, his hunger levels dropped dramatically. He wasn't starving himself and he wasn't feeling like he was running on fumes every single day. Step 5. Stop obsessing over the scale. Don't get me wrong, the scale is a great tool, but it's not the whole picture. Fluctuations happen due to water retention, glycogen stores, and even your meal timing as well. Or if you're taking creatine, the smarter way to track your progress, well, weigh daily, look at trends. Focus on weekly averages, not daily fluctuations. Trust me, I know what it feels like. One day you get on the scale and it's lower than you thought it would be, so you feel really happy. The next day, even after doing everything right the previous day, and it's the weight's gone up, and you think, what has happened? Maybe everything I'm doing isn't working anymore. Maybe I'm going to gain all the body fat back. Well, just calm down. Use things like photos and measurements. Changes in how you look and feel often matter more than the number on the actual scale. Again, it's a great tool, but don't use it as gospel. Ethan, my client, was glued to the scale, stressing over every tiny increase, which shifted his focus to weekly trends and progress photos. Not only did this reduce his anxiety, but it also helped him see the real steady progress he was making. Step 6 is to be patient and be consistent. Dropping 10% body fat or 20 pounds of fat is a marathon, not a sprint. Quick fixes lead to quick rebounds. But you're probably asking, what's the secret? Well, consistency and patience. I know it's boring, I know you've heard it before, but this is why slow and steady wins the race. It minimizes muscle loss, keeping you lean and strong. I'm assuming you want to look good. I'm assuming you want to have a bit of muscle on your frame, and you're less likely to feel deprived, making it easier to sustain the plan for the long term. Ethan, my client, initially wanted to lose weight as fast as possible. Once he embraced a slower, more consistent approach, the process felt much easier and his results were far more sustainable. Step 7. Build in flexibility. Let's face it, life happens, especially if you're a busy man with a hectic life, you don't have much time, you've got a social life, you've got family commitments, and you've just got stuff going on every single day. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. Flexibility is ultimately the key to long-term fat loss success, but you've got to do it methodically. So here's how to stay flexible. Follow the 80-20 rule, so stick to your plan 80% of the time and allow room for life's curveballs. Try not to beat yourself up over some slip-ups, just get back on track. Ethan, my client, used to panic about eating out or attending work events, but by building flexibility into his diet, like estimating portions and enjoying treats in moderation, he could stay on track without feeling restricted. Think about something in your life where you have got really good results. How did it happen? Well, I can almost guarantee that it was just by doing the same boring things day in, day out, week in, week out. It's just because you stayed adherent to it and you stayed consistent that you actually saw results. It's the same way with dropping body fat. So the fastest way to drop 20 pounds of body fat isn't about punishing yourself with extreme diets or overtraining in the gym all the time. It's about working smarter, not harder. So step 1 is to create a sustainable calorie deficit. We do need to figure out our maintenance though as well. Step 2, prioritize protein. Step 3, train smart with strength-focused workouts. Step 4, manage hunger with high satiety foods. Step 5, stop obsessing over the scale. Focus on trends. Step 6, stay patient and consistent. And step 7, build in flexibility for real life. If you're ready to ditch the guesswork and finally make make these changes and progress, click the link below to take my completely free body health and performance quiz. It's designed to help busy men just like you uncover exactly what's holding you back and see if you're capable of creating a plan and hitting your body health and performance goals this year. And before you go, this video somewhere over here is packed with even more tips to help you transform your body without disrupting your busy life, spending hours in the gym, or following restrictive, boring diets. Or don't, I'm not your missus.